Good morning.
Good morning.
So please make aware that today we have class, right? So sometimes some people may think, right? This is early morning class. Everyone can attend. So I hope today will be your last day of class, and you have a 1 day summary class, right? Physical class lectures.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So on that day, the whole things will be discussed, right? So today we are going to look about two small parts, right? Small things. One is how to present what you know. That means this is not really a presentation. Whatever the things, most of the time in extension education, you know something about it, or you read about it. You have the source, but you need to make disseminate that information or knowledge to the people, or the farmers, different set of people, right? So you need to be in a position how to transfer that knowledge to the people who don't know about it, or who don't aware about it. So you have to follow some ethics or characters, or how can we say, you need to possess some quality in order to make them uh, to aware about it. So you have to follow some presentation techniques. So the presentation is not only the presenting with the slides. It may be a lecture, or it may be whatever, right? If you are doing a presentation with flashcard or posters or whatever with the leaflet, sometimes slide presentation, whatever, everything fall under the presentation. You are going to present something to the people. So let's say about something about it. How to make a presentation, especially to the rural people. Rural people means the farming community. What we have to do, right? This is common thing because normally you know, right? You have much experience with presentation situation. So the components of presentation situation is, the components means what sort of things make the presentation. First of all, the audience. Audience, you know, right? Audience means who are the people going to be benefited from that presentation, the viewers, or we can say the respondents. We can say in different names, right? The audience, the people who are going to sit in your presentation and going to make a benefit from that. Audience. And the topic. This is another important thing. Topic means on what content, or what is the theme of the presentation. So usually when you are doing your presentation, normally we will provide you a title, right? So on that title you need to follow up. Say for example, if you are provided with the present status of private organizations extension activity in Sri Lanka, that is a topic, right? So you need to search something and you need to prepare for that topic. So you don't worry about the government or other thing. You need to prepare regarding the private sector, right? So that is what content you are going to speak, or what content you are going to make some awareness to the farmers. So that is about the topic. And occasion or environment. So on different situation, we will make the presentation on different environment. Sometimes we make presentation for making as a lectures. Lectures means you are going to educating freshly to them. Sometimes the presentation will be helpful as a guide or a part of the study. right? So if you are visiting to the say for example Pera botanical garden, there is a part of a study field visit. They will make some lectures, so that is a presentation. Sometimes the presentation will be the whole part of the um, study. Sometimes it is a part of the study, and we will make presentation on like conferences. There's presentation, sometimes lectures. So it will differ from situation to situation. Sometimes in the field you have the presentation, sometime in the office or in the lecture halls. So it will differ from situation to situation or purpose to purpose. So that is about the environment. And finally, the speaker. Speaker is the person who is going to make delivering the presentation, who is the one who is going to make the presentation. Maybe speaker or speakers, sometimes more than one person. So he should be aware about it. So if you are an agriculture extension officer, you are going to make some presentation. You are the speaker. You are going to make the presentation to the farmers or students, whoever, right? So these are the components of a presentation. Components. So all of these are the basic. Without one component, that will be not a perfect presentation. So every component, these four components are important. Good audience is important. A good topic or a relevant topic is important, and an environment. Perfect environment is important, and the speaker. The speaker is the most important because who is the one going to hold everything? He is going to deliver. So based on his delivering, only the audience topic will be perfect, right? He is going to deliver everything, and he is going to manage the whole environment of presentation. So this is the whole of a presentation situation, the components, right? Then the building blocks of effective presentations. How an effective presentation, effective means what you target is what you achieve, right? Certain the day before presentation or before that, you will be planned for that one. And on the day you are delivering, and you need to know whether it is an effective one or ineffective. So for that purpose, we have to do certain things. First of all, gathering material. So what is this gathering material? Say, take yourself as an presenter. You are going to present. Say, for example, the term paper presentation. First of all, what will we give your title or an idea about your topic, right? Then what is your first work is to collect the information or collect the data. You need to search something. You need to refer, right? Refer on the topic. Say your private extension activity, so you need to refer. So if it is a topic related to Sri Lanka, you don't have much information. So you need to gather in the environment. You need to visit to extension officers, or you need to talk to some people, and you can get some ideas, right? Agriculture related extension working people, NGOs, private organization, like that. You need to gather material. So gathering material is not only searching in the books or Google. You need to talk to some people. Sometimes you need to visit to the offices, because some data you can't find in the internet. You know, the update of data in Sri Lanka is very poor, so you can't find the fresh or updated data. So that you need to visit to particular office. If it is related to any animal production or cattle management, like that, you need to visit to the DAPH or veterinary office, like that. You need to visit and you need to collect the data. And then when you are collecting the data, you can't have access to all data. You need to some are confidential and some are for if you want to get the data, you need to get the permission from the head of the office, and you need to get the if you want for the search purpose, research purpose, or you if you need for the study purpose, you need to get an approval through your head of the organization, and you can get the material. So likewise, you need to follow some procedure. Then you can gather the material. So the first step is gathering materials, related data. Then after outlining. What is this outlining is you need to figure out the needed data, or you have to make some clarity. So you collect everything about extension. Now you are going to brief out the things related to private extension activities or extension activities carried out by the private organization. And then you need to outline for the Sri Lankan context, right? I'm telling with an example, right? So you need to outlining with the Sri Lankan context. So what is happening in the private sector of agriculture extension, particularly in Sri Lanka. And then you can go with an example for what happening, which are the organization carrying out the like that. You need to outlining the things. Outlining means the relevant. You need to figure out the relevant things to your topic and your respondents. Third thing is polishing or revising. Polishing means you need to make some more clear points about your topic. Say you collect something about private organization, then you need to make some order of your presentation. What sort of things I need to add if it is a private sector participation in agriculture extension in Sri Lanka. First, you need to add a introduction part. Then you have to have a what is the present status if you have any statistics, or what is the current situation you need to explain. Then you need to explain the how the government sector is working, how the private sector working. Why we are comparing? Because we need to make some clarity about the effectiveness of private sector. So we need to compare. And then after we need to find out what is the gap between both the things. Then we need to find out what are the challenges the private sector facing. Then we need to find out some suggestions. Finally, the presenter himself or herself only giving the solutions, or the any ideas to improve or the areas to improve. Like that, you need to make a discussion session and finally summarizing your whole presentation. So this is how you need to polishing the topics. And revising means again and again you need to go through with the presentation and delete or editing the unwanted things. Sometimes you may feel we can add more things to that, so you need to add. You can add some relevant pictures. So like that, polishing the whole topic. You have to ensure that your topic will be effective and that will be able to understand by your respondents or farmers. So on that basis, you have to make your presentation beautiful, attractive, and contentful presentation. Right? Finally, completing the delivery. So that is the part you are going to make some delivery to the farmers or your respondents. So this is your building block of effective presentation. Right? Then we talk about which are the areas we should think about in the presentation. So first of all, you should know the audience characteristics. What is this audience characteristic is? You need to know who are the people you are going to talk. If you are provided with your term paper, who are the audience for your term paper? Who are the audience?
Batchmates.
Batchmates, your lecturers or the staff, right? They are the audience. So likewise, if it is a presentation, you are an agriculture extension officer, you are sometimes need to do presentation to farmers. Sometimes you explain the things to your higher officers. Sometimes department people from other departments. Sometimes you need to make some presentation to students. So first of all, you need to have an idea about your respondent. Why we need to have an idea about the respondents or audience? What is the importance? Why we need to know who is the audience? We don't, if we have a topic, we don't need to know about the audience. We just prepare and we can deliver. What is the difference between knowing the audience and delivering, and normally delivering the presentation? Why we should know the audience characteristics? First of all, have you understood what I am asking? Why we should know the audience characteristics? Yeah, that is the thing. Sometimes we should know the degree of educational level, characteristics of the audience. Then only we can able to prepare that one. And then we need to, yes, find out the content, and we can decide the content. Yeah, according to the language ability of the audience, knowledge, yes. So if it is farmer oriented presentation, we can be able to add more pictures and more about field presentation, right? We can reduce the written part or lecturing like that. We can go for more practical presentation. If it is some kind of student oriented or educational presentation, normally conferences like that, we can go for the written things. We can submit our papers like that. So first of all, we should know who are our audience. Then only we can able to prepare for that one, right? Then be interested in the audience. This is the another thing. So first of all, you should be interested in the audience, right? Whatever the thing when you are doing, you should be first interested on that. Then only you will be automatically, your mind will be able to make that one. Maybe a hard thing or a easy thing, right? So when you are doing your presentation, usually I think we don't have any presentation like, right? So in normally the students, what will marks, and they have to finish, no? So that's why. So they don't have any interest. Only if there are three people in a group, only one or two is going to work. The other one is going to see the presentation on the day of the presentation. And you should make, because your part, because when others making their slide, they know how to deliver that one. When you are making your slide, only you know, right? Why I put this point, because you know I put this point to explain this and explaining. So that is style, right? Sometimes some people love to have different views. So likewise, you can make a fruitful presentation. And audience also will not interested, right? Preparation is okay. doing the presentation as it is before the actual presentation. Sometimes we can make to our own, right? Sometimes we can make to our own, we can do. Or sometimes now we have facilities, right? We can rehearsal facilities without the person. We can just on the Zoom and we can do recordings and we can like that. The rehearsal part will be the rehearsal will provide you a confidence and you can able to make some corrections when you are doing. You can record your rehearsal and you can hear and you can make, yeah, this word I am telling not properly, pronunciation problem or whatever the problem, some kind you can able to correct. And rehearsal part is that is the important thing, and you can able to calculate the time availability, right? The punctuality, whether you are finishing to your time. Sometimes the slides will be more than your time limitation, so you can edit up those things. So rehearsal will be very much helpful to your actual presentation. It will provide you a confidence, right? Your confidence will be improved and you can make corrections from the rehearsal. So that is about the prepare and rehearsal. Then face the audience when speaking and maintain eye contact. This is another thing normally the audience will expect. One is you should face the audience. Facing means you should look them. You should talk to them. Another thing is maintaining eye contact. You know, right? Why you should make eye contact? One is to make the audience attracted and make them to be in the presentation. If you are talking to some others or you didn't observe them or you didn't have an idea, you are just watching your slides and you are talking like that, they will not attracted and they will be in different world, right? Sometimes they will do their work. So you should make eye contact. Then you can find out whether they are interested or whether they are not understand. You can grab some idea about the viewers, right? So that is normally when you are doing the presentation, you can observe. Oh, they have some doubts sometimes, and from their facial expressions, sometimes they feel sleepy. On that situation, you should make some differences, or you can change the things, right? So the audience facing and eye contact is much important. So you know when you are doing your presentation, there is a evaluation criteria. Evaluation criteria means your marking system. There is a point for eye contact, right? Eye contact have a points. And then another thing is dress appropriately to the occasion. So presenter should be dressed properly to that particular occasion. So if it is a research presentation or a conference presentation, they should be in the perfect wear, right? Dressing. If it is a field presentation, they should be a particular thing. So the dress should not disturb the audience, right? That should be very perfect. The dressing to the particular situation is important, right? So if you are dressed for a criticism, then that will be a disturb for the audience. So you should be aware about the dressing sense. Then use appropriate language and words. So this is when you are talking or when you are doing a presentation, using the words and language. Sometimes you may use some technical words. I already told on that day, right? If you are using a word adulteration in the slide, you should explain that word, the technical words. And sometimes you should use the like language in a proper way, right? And you should use the particular words and avoid the other kind of words, the bad words like that. You should use the proper words, what we are using, the proper language, right? And when there is a farming crowd is your audience, so your language should be very normal language, right? We can so the English or whatever the thing we use to the appropriate situation. If it is an educational or research presentation, you can use the higher words like that. If it is a farming community, we should able to make them to the normal what we talk like that, right? The talking, our vocabulary and our writing vocabulary have differences. So like that, we should prepare ourselves for the particular situation, the language and words. Then pronounce the words correctly. This is depend on the person to person. Pronouncing, there is a universal pronunciation, so you should follow the pronounce. Pronounce means, right? How to spell a word, right? So some people have problem in some words, right? So you should be aware. Most of the time, the supervisors or evaluators will correct you, right? You should pronounce like this. So that is about the pronounce the word. Because you are pronouncing the word, if you are pronouncing wrongly, the whole community or the whole audience will be getting the knowledge as a wrong way. So you have to be correct. That is why the rehearsal and preparation is much important. If you are doing a rehearsal to another person, then that is much better, right? So when you prepare your term paper presentation, you can make a rehearsal with your friends, right? This is what very important part. They will make some different voices, right? So that is important. That is important. Or you can say double time, triple time. You can say, or you can vary in your tone of voice, make some hard tone, right? And speed. Speed means the voice when you are talking. So sometimes I feel like when I am starting, I will talk slowly. After sometimes I will speak fast. I feel like that, but am I fast? So sometimes I ask from the students, if you feel I am fast, you should say, right? So the speed of the voice, so that should be very careful. So if that is an important thing, the speaker should be very should say slowly and stress the things 2 times, 3 times, right? So that is about varying your tone of voice and speed. So at the starting, you should be wish, right, good morning, or that should be in a very pleasant way, right? So you should change the voice according to the situation of the presentation. And avoid non-words. What is this non-words? Anyone? Non-words? Have you heard about it? Non-words. Tell me some examples of non-words. Any non-words? Non-words. Have you heard about it? Tell me some examples of non-words. You don't know non-words? So when you're doing presentation, without your knowledge, you will say some non-word like, uh, like, have you understand what I'm saying? if you that is the filler word, that means from one word to one word or one slide to another slide. Sometimes without your knowledge, you will say like um, just some words you use for no worth, right? Like apdi, like. So those are non-words, right? Have you understand what I'm saying? Non-words.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is when you understand, when you are doing presentation or your friends doing presentation, you will understand he or she using non-words. Some people use for every slide, right? So that is non-words. So that should be avoided. So how can you avoid non-words is much practice, right? When you're doing much practice, you can able to avoid those words. Otherwise, you will be when you are not confident, when your confidence level is lower, you use more non-words, right? Because you don't know what to talk, right? You don't know what to talk or you don't know how to do. On that situation, you try to fill that gap by using these non-words. But when you are confident about your topic, you will be talk the needed things. So that is about non-words. I think you will understand, right? Then avoid continuously standing behind the podium. This is another thing. So what is the podium? Podium. What is a podium? Very poor responses, right? What is a podium? Yeah, that is not stage. Actually, podium means the place, yeah, the speaker stand, right? So, when there is a function or presentation, you will be having um, uh, the person who is talking in a podium, right? There is a wooden podium or like a metal podium. On that place, the speaker will speak. Usually, that is happen for the speech. But when you are doing presentation, actually, presentation is not a speech, right? You are standing on the same place and talking is not a presentation. You should visit around the audience. You should go there, here, because you make the presentation live and needed things you should bring. So you can't stay on one place, right? That will make the audience boring and ineffective. If you are going here, there, you can observe them what they are doing. Like that, you should cover, right? So normally you should go here and there. So that is, and you should talk in different places. Then only it will be effective, right? So speaking on one place, normally when you are doing the term paper presentation, you just stick to that laptop, right? Laptop and making the next slide. But normally, educational research presentation, most of the time people are doing like that. But you can, due to the time, maybe due to the time limitation, right? So when you are doing your big crowd, so you don't have enough time provided, so you need to be stick to there. But usually, if it is a good presentation, you should talk here and there, making some explanation, right? So that is important. Standing behind the podium is not a good thing. That means avoid continuously. You can be there, but you don't be for a whole period. You can visit and come, and then use the gestures to supplement words. What is this? Gestures means you can show some symbols or you can use your hands. Normally, when you how can I show it? That is the thing. If I'm if the physical lectures, you can get something from our facial action, from the speaker. You can get. They will show some gestures by using hands. Right? So some some explanation. So, some people when they are talking, their hand will automatically showing the gestures, right? So that is the gesture means you are showing some symbolic or explanation, right? Have you understand what I am saying? What is a gesture? On some places, you don't need the words. You can say, or say, for example, if it is yes, what is the gesture you can say for yes? Any gesture supplement for yes? You need to say yes without word. How can you do a gesture or agreeing something or yes? How can you say word? No, no,
Head
I must. Sorry.
head movement.
Yeah, head movement means you can nod in your head up and down, right? If it is no, you can shake left, right. Have you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, nodding, right? So that is the gesture. Sometimes you can use your hand, like you can use your fingers, or if there is any important words, you can say some hand movements or thumbs up, like that. The gestures means without word, right? So in some places you can say. Otherwise, if it is a happy situation, you can make some smile, right? So the gestures will be not be hand. That may be a smile, facial reaction, body movement, right? Body movement. Sometimes we have some experience, some lectures, they will do some body movements to show how this machine will work, right? So those are gestures. Why they will be helpful rather than talking? They will be remember. We will remember those things, right? Right now also I remember those gestures. So gestures will work in some place. So in order to supplement the words, we can use the gestures and ask questions to check understanding. This is another important thing. Why we need to ask the question? Because we need to know whether I'm going in a good track. So that's why I'm asking in between whether you understand. Do you have any doubt? If you have doubt, please let me know or let me comment. So you should know, because without understanding you are doing the presentation is useless. So you should understand, or you should make sure whether the audience will understand, right? So you should ask question frequently or between the lectures, right? Or you can get something from the facial reaction of the people. Sometimes if they are not understood, they will not be active into the presentation. Sometimes I have the experience, and when I am student, I am also if you are if I am doing the practical or teaching, some students will be make eye contact, but not someone, right? Not everybody. Some make eye contact with us. So we can able, okay, they are interested and they are looking me. Some people know, they don't, they are looking somewhere else. That is their habit, right? So eye contact, making eye contact, we can understand, okay. Then they will not, right? They will not yes like that if they understood. If they didn't understand, they will be quiet. But we can't consider that being quiet is not understandable. These are the reactions of the people, right? And so that is about checking the understandable situation of the respondents. And ask for questions and give positive feedback to encourage more. So when we are asking the question, sometimes they will give wrong responses. Sometimes the feedback and encourage them to getting the correct answer. That is a good way, right? If you are discourage them or you are scolding that why you are telling a wrong answer, next time they will not ask for a question or ask for it out, right? So encouraging your responding. Another thing is repeat or rephrase rephrase the question. So if it is an important question, you can ask again and again and rephrase. Rephrase means again and again you are going to asking the question. So we will ask like, have you submitted the assignments again and again because that is important. So again and again when you are asking the question, that will be in the mind of the respondent, and they will right, they will have it on the mind. Then summarize discussions frequently to ensure common understanding. This is what is, if it is a long presentation, we will summarize at a point. So if this is a presentation, say for example, I will start with this, right? So if I am teaching, I am making presenting components one by one. After that, I will summarize the whole points. Then I will go for building blocks and I will explain everything one by one. And then finally, I will summarize. The small summaries will be helpful to make a overview about this and understandability of the people, right? So that is making the summaries frequently. And watch non-verbal behavior. This is the thing I told, that non-verbal behavior, when we are doing the presentation or classes, we will observe the students' reaction, right? Whether they are interested, whether making the eye contact, or what they are doing actually, whether they understood or whether they are looking outwards. Sometimes, some people will be sleepy, right? Or sometimes they will use their mobile without knowing that we are not knowing, right? So I have many experience, they know, right? So, we also students, we know the techniques, right? So using the mobile and, many things happen in the lecture hall. Everyone are different, no? So if it is a afternoon lecture, certainly many people will be sleepy. So we should understand the non-verbal behavior. Non-verbal means without talking, we can observe what they are doing, what the respondent is doing, right? Whether sometimes if they are interested, they will write the notes or they will keep a note about it. They know, right? So that is about the non-verbal behavior. And vary your activities in such a way listeners are alternatively passive. So most of the time people are passive. Passive means doing nothing and just keeping and watching. No, that is not a good way. That is why we say, like, we will make some active way of making yourself. We will say yourself to stand up and sit down like that sometime. Or sometimes I will say, you need to take the extra note. So that is a way of making you active. Or we will ask some question from you, right? Most of the time, that will make you active. Sometimes solving some problem, we will give some calculation in between the lectures or something to solve the problem. And if there is a lectures regarding some machinery or anything, we will make yourself, or laboratory practical, we will make yourself to do the practical or do operating the particular things like that. Making yourself as an active person, right? Passive will be ineffective. And select and properly use the audio visual aids. So I already told about it for particular situation, and you should fix which audio visual will be helpful. If it is a classroom lecture, so the slides will be very much useful. If it is a field practical, then you can go for a flannel board, like field audio visuals. So you should select wisely. Then use specimens, pictures, graphics. So that's why you use in the presentation. Sometimes we need to show some specimens. Specimens means you have experience, right? If it's a biology practical, you'll be having the plant samples. So you can have that specimens. If it is disease sample or soil samples, stone samples like that, you will be having the specimens. Or sometimes you have pictures, right? Sometimes graphics. So, when there is a continuous presentation, in between we will show some video clips, some making aware, right? So, and finally, be aware about time limits. You should make sure about your time limit. So if you provide it with 10 minutes, you should be able to cover up with 10 minutes, right? Then if you are making after the 10 minutes or you finish earlier, that will be again affect the respondents, right? They will be, if it is higher than 10 minutes, the persons, they will be boring. And if it is less than that, they feel like less content. So you should be aware about the time limit. So again, time limit will be helpful by doing the rehearsal part. So when you are doing and you are outlining, you can able to make sure about your time limits. So these presentation techniques and what are the areas to be think, that will be helpful for yourself to make your presentation as well when you are doing presentation in the farming, right, farmers? So have you all understood about it, or do you need clarification in any points? Do you have any doubt on any point? Anything need to be clarity or clarify? You can connect everything to your presentation style, right? Am I fast?
No, madam.
Okay. Only one or two people are responding. I don't know about the others. So this is the problem in the Zoom presentation. You know, we can't observe the um, but verbal behavior of the audience, right? So okay, you have any doubt on any points? Please go through with the slides. So you have one more chance, right? So on the day of your physical lectures on coming 22nd, right? So you can ask. So please go through with the slides. So anything, if you have any problem, just note and let it me know, right? So this is about your whole presentation techniques. Most of the time, please connect these things related to a farming community, right? I explain through yourself as a student one, you can able to use as a farming community. And there is one more small topic, we can cover that one. And finish. So this is everybody should know. I will take small things about it, but you know about this, right? Requirement of an agricultural extension worker. So these are the qualities of extension worker and how they should behave or what should they possess, right? So before that, yeah, let's we see about it. So the what should be they are having and what about their characteristics, right? So when you are an extension officer, you should possess some characters. First of all, you should be approachable. Approachable means an extension worker must know how to approach to the people because you are going to connect it with different set of people, farming community. And you should be an approachable person means, for example, if you are an effective person, you don't know about what is office hour and what is working role. You should be able to work in off hours. Off hours means if your office hour is 8:30 to 4:15, if you are an extension worker, you should be able to work after that, even on weekends, your holidays, right? Because If farming community, we know, right? When they are free only, we can able to approach the farmer. We can fix a time that is convenient for ourselves. They should consider about them. So that is about the approachable. You should be available at any time, and you can able to make yourself approachable to farmer, right? That is the first important quality. And infinite patience. So this is another important thing. This is much important for everyone, right? Being patient. Infinite patience means the kind of 100% patience. So that is about every extension worker is a planter, and he able to cultivate the people's mind. People's mind means he have to calculate and he have to aware regarding the minds of the people, and implanting the ideas in them. That means disseminating the ideas to the people and making helping to the ideas to develop decisions. So you are not the person making decisions. So if you are advertising or if you are making some knowledge regarding a machinery, you make the farmer to decide. You are not a person going to decide that one. He or she, the farmer is only going to make sure whether he is going to make the decision. He should be patient and tireless in explaining. So when you started explaining, you should not be bored about it. Sometimes people will ask again and again, right? They didn't understand, they will ask. And they will ask some irrelevant question. Sometimes you will feel, right, that is irrelevant. But you have to answer, right? Or you have to manage them. So that is the patience. He must make suggestions instead of issuing instructions. So this is another thing. You can't give the instruction. You should make some suggestions on that, because you know the difference between instruction and suggestion. Instruction, that is you should follow. Suggestions, that is the idea. They can decide, right? They can decide whether to do or not. So if you have some, if the farmer is asking, I have a problem in a about a pest, and what shall I do, like that, you should give some suggestions. You can't give instruction, right? Because they only know their field problem and their own problem. So they should decide the things. So this is about the patience, infinite patience. And then a blend of wisdom, understanding, and tactful. That is an extension officer who should be wise. Wise means knowledgeable, reasonable, and sensible, judicious. Judicious means having able to judgmental, impartial. Impartial means you should treat every farmer as same. You can't give priority to anyone. So when we are doing the lectures, we have to give priority and we have to give chances to everyone. If you are doing a field demonstration, you should give chances to everyone in the track, every farmer, right? You can't give any gender inequality. You should give priority to women and men, equally treating, and should have good public relations. This is another important thing for an extension officer. Why? Because if they have a public relation only, they can know about the people problem and their point of view, right? You should have public relation, because every if you are connection with only one or two set of people, you don't know. We have to get idea about everyone, then only we can able to fix. Otherwise the thing will be partial, right? So you should be have good relationship. And finally, he or she should have a clear understanding about crop livestock production. So that is the thing you are studying, right? So you should have a clear understanding. And farming as a business, you have to think farming is a business. And agricultural development, you should always think for a development in agriculture. And you should aware about the psychology of farmer. When you are saying something, you should able to say in a way of understanding from the farmer's point of view. The psychology means the mindset of a farmer. He think in a different way. You can't stress your point of farmer. You have to think about in the farmer's point of view too. And the rural society and their living is different, right? So that's all about the things, the requirements of agriculture extension worker and the work, and that is about your whole thing. So do you have any questions or anything you need to say? You can say. Otherwise, we can wind up. When compared to other classes today, the attendance is less, I think. So I don't know why. If there is a holiday or I don't know why. Um, so every slides and lectures, your practicals, everything, assignments were uploaded. Please go through with your assignments once again. Sometimes you may be divided into group and you do in one topic. You don't know about other topics. So please go through with everything, your assignments, practicals, lectures, everything uploaded in this LMS. And I think by this week, your whole assignments will be corrected and updated with your marks, gradings, and what else? Do you need to tell anything? Any doubts? Any questions? So we have a final opportunity to meet on the final summary day, right? Summary class day. You can, I think you have your study holiday after this Friday, right? So make sure and make some time for studying extension. I already told, right? Your mid marks are very poor. So don't think we can study on the day before exam. Please spend some time. The thing is how to write and how to answer the question. So that is the problem. You know the answer, but you don't know how to write or for writing which question. So if you have such problem, so please go through with the past papers, or you can discuss with your friends. Some of your friends are writing very well. So try to make some pictures. If there is suitable, you can draw some graphical representations like that. Some are doing very well. I think some question papers they draw like I think those things were explained by Sir. They have explained in the same way how Sir explained. They draw the brinjal, they draw the people like that. That is a good way of answering, right? So I don't encourage to draw. Try to do like that, right? Way of answering is important to any question. And another thing is those who are doing very poor, please attend every question and write something related to extension, right? You are, if you don't know answer, you are not taking the question. Just write something, right? So go through with everything. Prepare yourself for the examination, right? Study well. If the absence of any question, we can able to wind up. And this is an easy subject where you can score very well. Maybe your language is a problem, so improve that one. So most of the time when you are in the lectures, you are not writing anything. So when you are writing or taking the notes during the lectures will be very much helpful, because practicing new words, writing something again and again, the rehearsal is important, right? So that is why we are encouraging you to take your notes rather than having it as a printout or in the LMS. Take your own notes. Anything else? And practicing your teaching aids, right? Teaching aids and whatever we did as a group work. When group work, your friends will helpful for your making of teaching aids. But when you are doing it in alone, then it's difficult, right? Sometimes your friends will be helpful in drawing the pictures, but in the exams or in when you are doing alone, you should improve the drawing skills, right? Or at least making some tact. You know what I'm saying, right? So yeah, that's all about agricultural extension. And shall we wind up?
Okay, ma'am.